What if reflecting on your wins could be more powerful than any motivational speech? Neuroscience has showed that deliberate success reflection creates neurological patterns of confidence, strategic thinking, and adaptive leadership. Most companies are leaving their most powerful growth strategies on the table. Your greatest untapped resource may be sitting in your own history. I can tell you that when I finished one of the greatest projects I ever had done, when I was able to achieve something that I'd never done before, we just hit number 3 on the New York Times bestseller list. We were able to sell over 700,000 copies of a book, and it was done within 2.5 months from 0 to 100. We were able to grow a company from just $500,000 to almost $10 million. And we actually sold out of what we predicted was 6 months worth of product, and we sold it out within the first 4 days. And I was starting to go ahead and starting to push forward on the next project, which I knew I had to get to. I knew I had to push this process. I knew I had to get this done. A very wise man looked at me and said, "Stop. Look at what you've done." And I wanted to argue with him. I wanted to say, no, I still want to go forward. I still want to keep going because the horizon, the thing I need to do next is still out there. No matter how fast we go and how far we get, the horizon is still out there. And you don't feel like you've accomplished it because that horizon is still as far out as it has been since the last time you looked at it. We do ourselves a disservice without every once in a while turning around and looking back and identifying how well we've done. We get into this hamster wheel of always trying to get to that next level. Yes, that's done, drop it, let's go to the next thing, let's go to the next idea, let's go to the next process. Let's continue to push forward and better, and all of a sudden we realize that we are continuing and we're not happy. We're dissatisfied because that one little thing didn't happen. We're dissatisfied because it did not give us what we wanted to. But in all reality, what we've done, what we accomplished to get to that point, we don't look at. So stop. Look back. And at the end of every project, I like to make a list of everything that we succeeded because most people miss it. I was astounded one year, we did 1.3 million words of script. We did 13,000 Facebook posts. We did over 240 hours of video and doubled almost 500 hours of audio out. And, that was just the daily grind that we were creating over a period of time that the team was able to do. And we were already focused on the next year and what was going, and no one said, stop. Let's look back. Let's celebrate and recognize the power of what we've done. Let's look at what we've achieved. Let's look at the amazing things that we've done and spend 1 minute to feel good about it. I had another client who we were doing a major launch, and this launch was going so well, we actually had our own launch house. Yeah, a physical house that we'd bought with just some of the money from the launch so that all of us could get together in one place and make it happen. And there was a set of goals written on the door on the way out. And I love having what we wanted to do. And as we got close to each one of those goals, the principal would cross it out and write another number. And I'm like, stop doing that. She goes, well, we've done that. We want to move forward. I'm like, no, we want to celebrate that. But we can't in the middle of it. Of course we can. We can celebrate it for just 1 minute, and then we can all agree what the next number is. And the mood in the house changed as soon as that one simple thing was done, that we looked back and recognized that we had succeeded, that these people had made the difference, that these people had created such a powerful idea that they made a difference in the organization. It was astounding. It was incredible. And we were able to go forward. It was beautiful. In the grand scheme of things, looking back for yourself and for your team is a strategic win and makes people feel like they're in a group. They can be a collective. They can be a group together. What if reflecting on your wins is one of those things that you can learn? One of those things that actually in neuroscience creates better feelings and gives you that hit of dopamine that lets you keep going. But better than that, it lets everyone keep going. Stop. The sentence used to be, stop and smell the roses. Well, stop and look back. Look at what you've accomplished. Spend a minute celebrating yourself and celebrating the little wins and the big wins. It'll make a difference. The neuroscience speaks to that. And the emotion reacts to it. Begin to become an individual who will take a moment and will step back and look, set up a time just to celebrate what you've done. It's astounding, and it will make you feel better. But if you keep pushing towards that horizon and that hamster wheel, you will never, ever feel like you've accomplished. Step back and celebrate. Step back and enjoy. I'd love you to stop right now. And I'd love you to look back on the last 6 months. Tell me without any sort of shame all the things you succeeded at. Just write them down. They're for yourself. I don't need to know. Maybe it's just as simple as you got the kids out of the house on time, or you were able to finally get that report done for the first time ever. Every win counts. And stop and celebrate. Maybe that's an extra cup of coffee. Maybe that's an extra shot in your coffee, whether it's sugar or otherwise. Maybe that's just a minute of deep breath and looking out and said, yes, I accomplished that. And in so doing, you're going to create a better you, a better people, and you're going to feel better. One of the great things I do every once in a while is I have to redo my resume. I hate redoing my resume. But I look back and go, wow, I did all that. And I've created another video that talks about the 3 best ideas I've ever had. I'll link that above. But one of them is creating monuments to yourself. You need to understand what those are intentionally, and then you need to celebrate them when they come down. So what I'd love you to do is, I'd love you to write those things down and then share with the community the way they make you feel. Was this a surprise? Was this unusual? How do you do it? I'd love you to put that in the comments below, and I look forward to continuing this conversation. I look forward to talking to you later.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gain.